So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a little bit of a headache. And what have I done to stop this headache? Well, I took 2 Tylenol, ate a vanilla cupcake, and ate 3 mini tubs of blue Belle ice cream. 2 vanilla and 1 chocolate. And now I'm more cold, but at least my head doesn't hurt as much. That ice cream really helps. Guys, if you ever have a headache, just eat ice cream. It's that simple. It's that simple. Previously. Oh, no, no, previously. February 15, 2:45 p.m. 10:45 a.m. Ponyville District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Man, the headache is really getting to me, man.
Ponies can walk in dreams now?
What, you didn't know that?
Ollie, at some point you're going to have to accept that this is how this world works.
It's magic, man.
Say.
Never mind that part. Athena, you're saying that Luna also wants what we want, to ensure Sweetie Belle gets a non-guilty verdict.
Yes.
And that she thinks the true culprit is either Fair Devotion or Sugar Stamp, possibly both of them.
There's certainly strong evidence to suggest at least one.
Who do you guys think it is? Frankly, I think the murderer hasn't been introduced yet. I think the murderer just hasn't been introduced yet. That's my theory.
Involved. But what do you think, Athena?
What do I think?
What do you think?
I was still a bit uncertain.
What
But
do I
after
think?
having that dream, I think I
What
have
do
a
you
better
even think?
idea.
I don't even think I think.
Boss, but I think
You know?
that this
You
trial
think?
will lead us to the answers we need.
Still, if Princess Luna believes Sugar Stamp or Fair Devotion are guilty, the defendant being Sweetie Belle puts her in a rather difficult situation. It sounds like she'll be relying on us once again to reveal Sweetie Belle's innocence, like she did with Turning Page and Scootaloo.
Bro, it is cold in
Oh,
here.
exactly how she plans on doing that, we don't know. It's probably best not to dwell on that for now. If last night's dream taught me anything, it's that we are on the same side.
Are you
That's
guys
not all,
really,
though.
though?
After last night, something that Luna and Twilight said to each other at the start of yesterday's trial makes a lot more sense.
What do you mean?
Twilight Sparkle. I heard that you would be assisting the defense today.
Good job.
Heard.
You get a
I
gold
think
sticker.
it's more likely that you found out during your nightly stroll. Am I right?
Ah.
Is that why Twilight was up late the night before? Did Luna speak to her, like, with me? What for?
Ah.
Why did Twilight feel the need to hide it? Not
A
to
little bit
mention,
swifty, aren't we?
why would I have detected so much discord over such a small lie? Forget it. I need to concentrate on this case,
Nah,
not
I
this.
feel like we need to concentrate more
I
on
can tell
this
you're a
rather
bit
than the
calmer
case.
today
No,
than
I'm
you were
kidding.
yesterday. Here's hoping you could take that composure with you into the trial.
I hope so too, boss.
No.
But, actually... Hey, Twilight.
What is it, Athena?
We've...
Yo, tell me she's not about to say, hey, Twilight, why don't you take the case? Why don't you just completely take over the case? Like, imagine though?
been through a lot, haven't we?
Yes?
And I've hurt you before because of a lot of my recent actions, and
Athena, you don't have to apologize again. I already told you. I understand, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't going to apologize again. I mean,
Stupid.
not that I don't still feel ashamed of what I did, but after I accused Zecora in the first half of yesterday's trial, you told me that even though I'd opened up some very old wounds, you'd stand with me in court. I really appreciated that. I didn't get a chance to tell you before, but after we heard yesterday what Mr. Wright did to get disbarred, and how he felt during that trial, I realized that doing everything on my own, or thinking I had to, that was what messed things up.
So
was
Twilight's not going to
But
be
now
the
I'm
main
prepared
defense?
to make up for it. And
Ah,
I wanted to,
shucks.
I guess, share the same sentiment you shared with me that
You're
day.
boring! No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
You said you'd stand with me in court no matter what. Well, I want to promise that I'll stand with you in court too. Come hell or high water, we'll face it together. That is, if you'll still stand
They
with
said
me today.
hell. I'm kidding.
Do you even have to ask?
Am I kidding?
Well, it would be nice to know.
Of course I'll stand with you at the...
By the way, the ice cream I was eating, Bluebell ice cream. See, instead of just saying chocolate, just chocolate, they say Dutch chocolate. Like, why specifically Dutch? Why not like double chocolate, triple chocolate, chocolate chip chocolate? Why is it Dutch chocolate? I don't understand.
Athena, you're my friend after all. And this time, I'm confident that we'll uncover the truth. Together.
Magic of
Together.
checkin' lawyering.
Hey, here comes Sweetie Belle.
Good morning, every pony. How are you?
I'm about to be put on case for murder. Good morning. How are you all doing today?
We're doing all right. How are you, Sweetie Belle?
Me? I guess I'm doing all right too.
Sweetie.
You are?
Sweetie.
Are you
I
sure? Yeah?
What's going on?
Why?
What are you
It's
talking
just- Well, I think we just expected you to be more nervous.
about? Or like sad or feeling emotion?
I mean, I am nervous, but not all that much. I know Athena and Twilight are going to do their best to defend me. And considering how they managed to get
Okay.
both Scootaloo and Turning Page declared innocent, well, then I shouldn't have a whole lot to worry about. Whatever happens, happens, you know?
Whatever happens, Sweetie Belle, do you not know what happens if you get declared for being a murderer? I think we should be worried, sweetie. Oh, might get sent to the sun. Hey, whatever happens, happens. Oh well. Guess I'm being shot to the sun now.
That's a mature outlook. Thanks.
You say that,
Okay.
Sweetie Belle? And your heart's saying you believe that too. So maybe you aren't actually nervous. But something tells me that's not because you trust Twilight and me.
Pardon me.
You
Abigail.
trust Luna. She trusts Luna.
Private Eye? What are you doing here?
Did Miss Sykes not tell you?
No?
Did she even
Strange.
tell us?
Well, I was tasked with coming here to help her with something.
Huh?
Help with something?
What
Private
you
Eye,
talking about, boy?
do you have what I asked for?
What you talking
What
about,
you
boy?
asked for?
I do,
What you doing?
though I must confess, I'm not sure why you needed it. Nevertheless, here it is.
Is that blood?
Oh, I thought that
A
was my
sample of
Kool-Aid.
Royal Order's blood, to be more specific.
Right. And just to confirm, you were able to obtain this
Secret.
secretly,
Oh!
correct?
Stabbing her
Yes.
back.
But why was such secrecy necessary, Miss Sykes?
We're stabbing Luna in the back.
You'll find out later, Detective. Thank you for this.
Now we've become
I
the secret
see.
keepers.
Very well then. I'm sure that you'll be able to put this to good use in today's trial.
Royal Order's blood sample.
Yeah, I hope so. Private Eye.
I know so, Miss Sykes. Critical thinking is the key to success, after all. Just keep that in mind, and I believe you'll have nothing to worry about.
I will. And I'll do my best to see through everything today, Detective.
Everything.
Of course. Now, I had best return to my duties. Take care.
Bye, Private. See you in the military.
I guess I'd better head in too, right?
Yes, that would
Yeah.
be for the best. You go on in, Sweetie Belle. We'll meet you inside shortly.
Okay. See you guys soon.
So cheery for somebody who's
Okay.
about to,
I
get
know you guys have some
declared
questions.
guilty.
When did you ask Private Eye to get you that sample? It couldn't have been this morning.
Was it middle of
I
the
didn't
midnight?
ask him. Sonata did.
Oh.
After Luna visited me in my dream, I couldn't fall asleep afterwards. I had this feeling that I needed to follow up on a few things. But I obviously couldn't do it on my own, so I decided to leave the castle for a bit and go to Sonata for help.
In the
She was happy
night?
to assist.
Was she
That's when I
awake?
asked her to get private eye to obtain this blood.
Wait, was it just midnight, or Athena just walking up, knock on the door, be like, "Hey, Sonata, could you ask Private Eye to, get some blood for me? I know it's midnight, and everything, but like, could you give me some blood?"
This blood sample. That wasn't all, though. Apollo, do you remember that photo you shared with us yesterday? The one with the blood on the trees?
Yeah. Did you ask Sonata for help with that then?
Yep. I asked if she could find out whose blood that was. Chances are it's the victim's. But it doesn't hurt to check. And there were
Imagine
two
it's
other things I
not.
needed her to look into.
2 more things?
The source of the anonymous tip, and the location of the remaining suit of armor. The one belonging to the victim that died at the statue. Sonata should be out investigating those things right now. Hopefully, she'll be able to get back to us with her findings soon.
Please tell me she's gonna show up in the
Work,
middle of the
Athena.
trial.
I'm glad you're keeping on top of things.
Boss.
Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you so much, Phoenix.
But why did you ask her to do all of that?
It
Because I wanted to.
has to do with something I thought of yesterday, after I had my dream. It's nothing definitive, to be honest, and I might be way off the mark here, but I have a hunch that this blood sample, along with finding out those two things, will be crucial. Not just for landing a not guilty verdict for Sweetie Belle, but also for figuring out the truth behind this whole messy case.
I see.
I know, Twilight. I wish I could tell you something more definitive, but it's going to depend on how the trial goes from here on. I know I'm asking a lot, but can you trust me on this?
Yes,
Bing.
I can, Athena. If you say you think this will help, then I think so too.
Thank you, Twilight.
If I may have your attention, the trial is about to begin.
The trial is
Defense,
about to
please enter the
begin.
courtroom at this time.
That's as good a sign as any, I suppose. Let's get going, Twilight.
Yep, let's.
Let's
Good luck,
do
you
this.
two.
Not that you'll need it, I'm sure.
Together, you're sure to succeed.
February 15th, 11 a.m. Ponyville District Court. Courtroom number 5. Ooh, got the door animation. Day 2, court. Day 2! Day 2! It's only day 2? Are you telling me the past 6 parts of this case, the past 7+ hours, have been one day? Considering that normal Ace Attorney cases are 3 days, yeah, case 2 is gonna take a while to be finished. Oh, thank you for that, thank you. All rise for
now
the
in session
stand.
for the trial of Miss Sweetie Belle. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The prosecution is indeed ready, Your Honor.
The
We're
defense
back.
is also ready, Your Honor. And there's Prosecutor Luna again. It's strange. Even though I know her role in all this, I still can't escape this feeling of intimidation.
She's
I
a
guess it
scary.
comes with being one of
She's a
Equestria's
scary
rulers.
pony.
But, like Twilight, I'm also worried about what she has planned. I know we're on the same side, but that doesn't mean I know exactly how she intends to set Sweetie Belle free.
Yesterday, I expressed sorrow at the fact that more children were involved with this case. To think, we must add yet another to it.
Yeah,
Day
I know, right?
takes a heavy toll on us all.
Is it just me, or does the judge sound a little bit different?
Nevertheless,
Luna?
I will reiterate my position as a neutral judge presiding over this trial. Prosecutor Luna, you may begin with your opening statement, if you would please.
Of course, Your Honor. I would like to first begin by recontextualizing the entire case.
What does that mean?
Yesterday's trial, thanks in large part to the
Ah.
efforts of the defense, revealed several key facts. One was that on the night of Royal Order's murder, there was not just one victim, but in fact, two. The original Royal Order and his clone. The
You had to
defense
read that?
postulated that one of them was killed at a clearing in the middle of the Everfree Forest and was subsequently brought to the bridge. The second one was killed at the Nightmare Moon statue before being eaten by timberwolves. This trial will provide us insight to the truth behind that second death. The blood test that Miss Sonata and Detective Private Eye submitted yesterday proved the statue area bore two ponies' blood. One was Royal Order, but the other was the accused, Miss Sweetie Belle. The
Whoa.
prosecution believes she was involved in the second Royal Order's death. Her blood found at the scene confirms this.
But it doesn't confirm she actually killed him, though. Only
True.
that she was there at the scene when he died. That's what we learned at the detention center. Where is Luna going with this? If this was all she had, surely she wouldn't call for this trial if she believed Sweetie was innocent. What's forcing her hoof?
I see. Prosecutor Luna, do you mean to tell the court that you believe the defendant, Miss Sweetie Belle, murdered Royal Order?
Not quite, Your Honor.
Ooh. Ooh.
Not quite. What do you mean?
To explain that, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to have Private Eye briefly come to the stand.
Ooh.
Private Eye? Why does she need him?
He's back.
Well, the court grants this request.
Sup, Private? How you doing, my guy?
Detective Eye, please explain to the court how Royal Order was killed at the statue.
At once, Your Highness. While there are still some facts left shrouded in mystery, our current theory attempts to explain the events of that night, at that particular scene. The victim and defendant were at the statue. Some sort of altercation must have occurred, after which Miss Sweetie Belle was forced to act.
Damn. How
We
did?
believe that Royal Order attempted to attack Miss Sweetie Belle.
Oh shoot! No,
She must have done something in response, which would have led to how he died. Impalement at the statue's base.
But like that one Royal Order, wasn't he like already like impaled in the head? Because didn't we confirm that the one who was impaled by the head, didn't he like go to the Nightmare Nights? I just need to ride this out. I need to shut up.
Do you mean to say that the defendant pushed the victim herself?
Not at all, my lord. Miss Sweetie Belle is a filly, and much smaller than the victim.
Oh
She
really?
would not have been able
What?
to push him on her own.
Then, how do you propose he ended up impaled?
We believe it was because the victim was suffering from weak knees due to the effect of poison joke.
Oh, we're
When
banging back
Royal
this
Order
thing.
attacked Miss Sweetie Belle, she must have instinctively dove for his hooves in an attempt to trip him. He would have naturally stumbled forward, resulting in impalement.
Damn.
Your Honor, it is this theory that the prosecution will pursue in today's trial. As Detective Eye has now revealed, while Miss Sweetie Belle was indeed involved in Royal Order's death, we do not believe she intentionally murdered him. Rather, we believe this
Yeah.
to be a tragic case of an accidental killing.
Manslaughter or
intentionally
pony
trip him.
slaughter.
But she did not mean to impale him.
Pony slaughter.
Objection! Prosecutor
Oh.
Luna! How can you make that kind of claim? That is conjecture at best.
Miss
Whoa.
Are you saying you do not believe Miss Sweetie Belle was responsible?
Of course we are.
Bon?
The defense
What
argues
do you
Sweetie Belle
defense?
wasn't involved in Royal Order's death in the slightest. Right, Sweetie Belle?
Sweet, sweet, sweetie, why are you so stupid?
What? Sweetie Belle, come on! Tell the court your side of the story.
Sweetie, I'm about to
Sweetie Belle,
throw you.
why aren't you answering?
I believe I can explain that, Princess Twilight. You see, ever since yesterday evening, Miss Sweetie Belle has decided to exercise her right to remain silent.
Right? You mean she's acknowledging that?
No, I won't accept that. It's not true. I know it isn't.
As resolved as you are, you will need more than mere protest, Golden Pixie.
Oh boy. I totally missed hearing that.
We're back with Golden Pixie.
So silence again, huh? Is this another thing Luna set up? Or maybe someone else?
Someone else.
The defense does bring up a fair point, Prosecutor Luna. Though it is an intriguing theory, it is still just that. A theory.
We are aware of that, Your Honor. That is why, in order to substantiate this theory, the prosecution would now like to call 2 witnesses to the stand. Witnesses who
Scootaloo and
claim to
Turning
have seen
Page.
this unfortunate accident occur right before their very eyes.
Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon?
2 witnesses? Again?
Don't tell me it's
We've
them.
just started.
Don't tell me it's
Already,
them.
I've been blindsided. Ugh.
Don't let it get to you, Athena.
Huh?
Remember what you said earlier. Princess Luna is on our side. If she's making this particular
Yeah.
accusation, it's because she expects us to be able to show it doesn't hold up to scrutiny. That means we just have to steady ourselves and keep pressing on.
That's right, baby.
Very well then. Detective, you may leave the stand. The
Bye,
court will
Private.
now hear from the prosecution's 2 witnesses.
What? Wait a minute.
Witnesses,
Wait.
state your names and occupation. Patience for the court record.
Be quiet, shut up.
Sugar
I'm not gonna say anything.
At your service, Your Highness. I'm a mail pony working for
Highness?
the Crown Courier Express.
Wait, she's a male pony?
Wait, what?
No, Your Honor. She's like a mail carrier. You know? Letters.
I actually, for a second there, I'm like, wait a minute, what?
I'm Fair Devotion. I'm a substitute teacher at Ponyville Elementary.
And, as I understand it, the deceased's wife?
What did
Yes,
you witness?
That is correct.
My condolences, Miss Fair Devotion. I understand that this is a trying time for you.
Hey, wait a minute. Thespio's in the background. You guys know Thespio? I know Thespio. Well, not actually, but, you know. I know, he exists.
You'd think she'd express more visible sorrow at that, but her voice is crying out in anguish. That's unmistakable. Just like I thought.
Witnesses, are you prepared to testify as to what the both of you saw that night?
Oh.
Yes, we are.
Very well.
Okay.
Please begin your testimony.
Dude, Fair Devotion's getting everything out. She wants you to understand.
That night, I happened to be watching the scene from above. The sound of fighting drew me in.
I was searching for my husband when I also heard something that sounded like fighting and went to investigate.
What I saw, it was horrible! That little filly had tripped Royal Order, and when he landed, the statue base impaled him! She ran off in a panic afterwards.
If only I'd gone after him sooner, instead of waiting behind like he'd asked me to. Then I could have stopped this from happening.
So you two saw the grisly scene unfold before your very eyes?
Yes, I can still see him lying there. Lifeless. I'm sorry,
Dude,
Your Honor. I'd rather not think much about
Oh, I don't.
I can't believe it either. Royal Order seems so full of life. I never thought I'd have to live on without him.
In any case, I believe now is the time for the defense.
God, I don't believe anything anymore. I seriously don't believe anything anymore. Like, Dutch chocolate ice cream? I don't believe in that either. Get out of here. Dutch chocolate. What is this? 5th grade?
To begin
God.
their cross-examination. Miss Sykes, you may proceed.
You got
Whoa.
it, Your Honor.
It was
I
a
wasn't
heavy
expecting
smack.
things to go exactly like this. But now they're both here. Time to tear down this lie and see what they're really hiding.
Hey, baby, baby, baby.
That night, I happened to be watching the scene from above. The sound of fighting drew me in.
Where exactly were you both watching from?
Well, I was in the treetop. First for something else,
What's
and I heard the
what was-
commotion as
what
I
was
was
that?
flying towards Ponyville.
As for myself, I was standing out of the way, somewhere in the woods where I could watch what happened unseen.
Miss Devotion,
Why didn't you
where
come
were you
and
before you
stop
arrived at the
them?
statue area?
The crossroads. I'd gone searching for my husband, and so naturally I followed the path from the entrance. I noticed a blood trail leading down the path towards the statue when I got to the crossroads. I followed it.
That's not good. Hey, what? Bro, hello?
It would have been around 10:30. Give or take.
Same for me, I think.
Could you
My
describe
brain.
what you did next?
I was searching for my husband when I also heard something that sounded like fighting.
I don't
and
think
went to
that's
investigate.
me. I don't think the pausing is me.
Did either of you know that the other was in the woods at the same time?
No, not in the slightest. I wasn't aware Sugar Stamp had been nearby until later, when I went to give my statement to the police.
I didn't see Diva at all that night either.
Miss
Diva.
Devotion, why were you drawn to the sounds of fighting in the first place? Weren't you concerned about getting hurt?
My husband was a member of the Royal Guard. He'd gone into the woods alone, knowing that it was filled with dangerous creatures. The chances of him running into one of those things and having to fight it were high. And from what I heard of that scuffle, one of the ponies involved was most definitely Royal Order. Not to mention, I had already found blood. I believe now you can see why I
Sugar
was
Stamp
more
doesn't like
concerned
blood.
with that than my own safety.
Yeah, I guess I can. It wouldn't surprise me to know that even from a distance, Bear could detect her husband's voice.
Continue with your testimony, witnesses.
What I saw, oh, it was horrible! That little filly had tripped Royal Order, and when he landed, the statue base impaled him! She ran off in a panic afterwards.
So you're saying that it was because of Sweetie Belle tripping him that Royal Order was impaled?
Yes, as horrific as it is to admit, that's exactly what I saw.
So
Well,
that
it's not what
explains
I
how
saw.
he was impaled. But what about where?
Where?
If you were there and saw the exact moment the impalement occurred, you should be able to tell us where the victim was impaled.
Ooh, that's a good question, actually.
How strange.
Yeah, how conveniently lucky. I don't actually remember where he was impaled. Yeah, maybe a tree branch. The tree itself. There was this really sharp anthill that I saw laying to the right of me. I don't know, maybe he got hit by that.
I don't really remember. Was it through his body or?
Through his body.
Your devotion?
What is it, Miss Sykes?
It looked like something occurred to you just now. after Sugarstamp said she couldn't remember where Royal Order was impaled. Did you have something to add?
Something like that. I remembered how my husband fell.
How your husband fell? Could you explain?
From what I recall, he fell face first into the base of the statue.
Ooh, that sucks.
That's right! That's what I saw too!
And that means...
Royal Order was impaled directly through his jaw.
That certainly matches up with what Private Eye laid out earlier.
Yeah, it does.
It's a terrible
Rather
way to
cleanly,
die.
I might add. But what Fair just did, not saying where he was impaled, but letting Sugarstamp point it out, it's exactly what Luna was doing with me in the last trial. She's leading her! Which means...
Witness, please
What's
continue
happening?
your testimony.
What does this mean?
If only I'd gone after him sooner, instead of waiting behind
talking.
like he'd asked me to. Then I could have stopped this from happening.
Fair Devotion, I want to clarify something. The reason
back.
you went into the woods was to chase after your husband after he'd gone to look for your son?
Oh, I shouldn't have
Yes,
stood up.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Here's where it all begins to make sense.
Make
What
me
I'm
feel
thinking
weird.
is true, the discord in their voices will tell me everything I need to know.
But
Really?
still makes me feel
Somehow,
good.
I find it hard to believe that was the only reason.
Turning
What are
page.
you talking about?
Turning page.
I am also curious, defense. Surely you don't think the witness is lying about wanting to go after her husband.
Perhaps lying is putting it too strongly. But I have reason to believe that Fair Devotion went into the woods for a reason beyond what she's told the court. And it has to do with this piece of evidence.
Blood. Picture.
A travel case, isn't it?
Yes, this travel
The
case
pencil,
belongs
the
to the Royal
toothbrush.
Order, Your Honor.
The
He'd take it with him
toothbrush.
when he had to make trips to Canterlot, which was quite frequently. But it's not the case itself that the court should be interested in. It's what we found inside.
The
What
toothbrush.
did you find inside?
It was
There
a
are
toothbrush.
two items of note. The first is this planner. It belonged to Royal Order and details his movements up until the day he died. The second is this. A love letter to Royal Order, written not by his wife, Fair Devotion, but by another pony, Sugarstamp.
Sup, sugar stamp?
Sugar stamp?
Sugar stamp?
Order! Order in the court!
Oh, yes, I read like a Lego
Miss
Bowser.
Sykes, are you implying that the victim, Royal Order, was having an illicit affair with one of these witnesses?
Quite
I don't need to
possibly.
imply anything, Your Honor. It states so in the letter.
Yes, I can see that.
You can see that?
Stamp, is this true? Did you write this letter? I can't believe it! After all I've done for you, you
Wow.
turn around and stab me in the back like this? I love
Trust,
my
am I right?
husband.
Loved? As if! You were
Oh.
never happy with him being a royal guard. You hated how he was always working, always leaving you home alone.
That was because I thought he was spending all of his time working, not being with you.
Oh.
Well, what can I say? He loved me, and I loved him. The heart wants what it wants.
Oh, don't
She
say
keeps
that.
saying things like that. Miss Devotion is going to tear hers out. Is something
That's
up,
a
Athena?
good joke.
Maybe. Twilight, do the two of them sound a little
It was
off
planned.
to you?
It was planned. Their voice acting sucks.
I mean, I'd expected them to be surprised. Especially
I'm kidding.
since Fair outright denied the possibility of an affair yesterday, and Sugar probably didn't think Royal would be holding on to that letter. Why do you ask? Did you notice something?
I think so. Interesting. They
Uh-oh.
act surprised and angry. I'm not hearing any actual shock or rage in their voices. If that's true, then
Smack.
I'm almost certain I know the reason why.
They're quite literally acting
Not
right
to
now.
mention,
Witnesses, you will calm yourselves or be escorted from the courtroom. Prosecutor Luna, what are your thoughts regarding this unexpected development?
It's
I
hardly
think it's a
unexpected,
bunch of
Your Honor.
baloney.
We too had examined the travel case in question and found the letter the defense presented. As such, I am more intrigued than surprised by what this opens up.
What do you mean, Prosecutor Luna?
It
As the defense
means
said, the planner belonged to the victim and details his movements up until he died. I suggest you read the entry for the 12th.
On the
12th?
12th?
on the
Let's see
12th.
here. February 12th. Locate mirror pool. Perform cloning spell. Oh, my word! The mirror pool!
My
Must
word!
mean...
Your Honor, yesterday we established that there were two versions of the victim on the night of the murder thanks to that mirror pool. It was initially believed he made two of himself to seek out his son, but with the details of this planner now on display, another alarming motive emerges. Royal Order cloned himself so that one version could stay with his wife, Fair Devotion, and the second could be with his other partner, Sugar Stamp.
He was going nuts. He was going crazy.
Indeed. That would appear to be the most logical explanation for this entry.
Oh, damn it. I just thought of a joke that... Oh, no. Oh, no. That joke is horrible. Oh, no. Oh, no.
But that's not all that's revealed by this, Your Honor.
There's more?
This affair casts a shadow over some of what we already heard from these two witnesses, namely, why Fair Devotion followed her husband. As the defense pointed out, Fair could have had an ulterior motive, one involving the context of this affair. And that could change an aspect of this trial. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Sykes? For that is what you are arguing, isn't it?
Is it? Was it really? I'm not sure, actually.
Miss Sykes?
Stare down.
Athena?
I know what you're trying to
Mr.
hint at,
MLP.
Prosecutor Luna, and I'm sure you mean well, but I'm afraid I can't follow that path.
Defense? I believe some confirmation is in order as to your stance.
No, Your Honor. I don't believe we need to confirm anything just yet. Or at least, not this.
You don't?
What?
Uh-oh.
Instead,
Oh, she did not like
I'd
that.
like to focus on another aspect of the planner.
Another aspect?
Your Honor, if you look at the planner, you'll see that there are actually two entries on the 12th. You've already read the first. What does the second one say?
The second?
What does the fox say?
Meet Sugar Stamp at Everfree Forest Clearing, 10:10 p.m.
As you will recall from their testimony, Fair Devotion and Sugar Stamp arrived at the statue around 10:30. This means that the scheduled meeting with Royal Order would have occurred 20 minutes prior.
Yes, I can see that, Miss Sykes. But why does that matter?
It matters because in that time frame, Sugar Stamp was not watching the scene as she previously testified.
Oh.
Instead, she was elsewhere. Namely, waiting at the clearing to meet with Royal Order.
Oh, you're right.
Your Honor, it's important that we account for every witness's movements that night. As such, the defense formally asked to hear further testimony from Sugar Stamp.
What?
Yes, what?
Golden Pixie. Just what are you up to?
Golden
Sugar
Pixie.
Stamp's meeting with Royal Order is irrelevant.
Is it though?
Unfortunately, Prosecutor Luna, that is something neither you nor I can decide. Not without hearing her testify once again.
Ha! Goodbye.
I know I shouldn't take too much satisfaction in throwing Luna a curveball, but can I help but feel a little smug?
Do I know,
More than
right?
that, though,
I love
I
being
think we will
smug.
find that what she has to say is relevant.
Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. You guys thought you guys thought I was going to jump scare you with the water bottle. Nope. I got sunglasses. And even though you guys can't see me put on these sunglasses, oh, I'm putting on these sunglasses. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can't help but feel a little bit smug. Can't help but understand what you mean. With these sunglasses, I'm the smuggest person in the world.
Due to what she confessed to us in the detention center yesterday.
She confessed? To what?
To murder.
You don't mean...
Oh, I mean.
We
Go
can't forget
figure.
that on the night in question, there were 2 royal orders and that both of them died. While this initial testimony attempted to shed light on one of those deaths, what Sugar Stamp told us reveals what happened to the other. Namely, that he was killed by Sugar Stamp herself.
Order in the court!
I would like the sunglass.
Incredible! If this is true, then I can think of no reason not to permit further testimony.
Nina, where are you going with this? How is Sugar
Hey,
Stamp's story
chill.
going to help us defend Sweetie Belle?
Trust me on this.
Twilight. This will likely
Trust.
be very important for us to hear. Once we get the full story, I think we'll start seeing this case in a whole new light.
Oh jeez.
Oh, okay, Athena. If you're that certain about this, I'll stand by you.
Stay
The
by
court
my
accepts the defense's
side.
proposal. Miss Sugarstamp,
Yes, Your Honor?
you will now testify to the court as to your actions that night prior to you running into the defendant.
Okay.
Dude, she's ready to smack somebody. She's ready to throw hands, man. Meeting and killing. Not just
I went
meeting,
to
but
meet
meeting
Royal
and
Order
killing.
at the time we agreed on, 10:10 p.m. We talked for a little bit, and he told me his plan of leaving me with a clone of himself. But when I heard that, I couldn't think. I killed him, then and there, using a letter opener that I carried with me. After he was dead, I removed his armor, then decided to carry the body to the castle ruins by flying it there. Then I flew out of the forest. While flying over the crossroads, I saw Scootaloo crash into the other royal order. After she left, I moved the scooter and wagon to further shift the blame.
I don't trust
And this
that.
is what you confessed to yesterday, then?
I don't
Yes,
believe
Your
you.
Honor.
I
Every
don't
last
believe
bit
you.
of it.
Sugar Stamp, I don't believe you.
I see. Defense, you may begin your cross.
How much you want to bet that Lawkeeper Equity has something to do with this? Well, obviously she has something to do with this case. Obviously, no duh. But I feel like she had a direct hand in making Sugar Stamp confess. Don't know why. Don't know how. Don't know when. Don't know where. Don't know what. That doesn't work, does it? I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
Cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Time to finally put this confession to bed.
I don't know why that made me laugh. Meeting and killing royal order. Why am I the way that I
At the
am?
time we agreed on, 10:10 p.m. We talked for a little
'Cause
bit,
I'm good
and
like
he told
that.
me his plan of leaving me with a clone of himself.
Did you have any idea what Royal Order wanted to talk to you about before you went to this meeting?
A little bit. He told me he had an idea as to how we could be together.
But you didn't know it would involve clones, right?
No, of course not. I wasn't even sure that clones could exist. I thought for sure he'd choose the
Dude,
easier
Bear
option
is
and stay
so
with
mad.
me. Oh, I was so mad.
So you say.
That's what I
Your
just
heart, on the
said.
other hand. Before you met up with Royal Order, did you happen to see any pony else in the forest?
Well, I did see the children while I was flying from the direction of the castle to the clearing.
The children?
You know, the
You mean
children.
Scootaloo and Turning Page?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
children.
and also those two other fillies, Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. They looked
How
like
do
they
you
were
know their
talking
names?
about something really important.
Around
What do you mean
what
really
time
important?
did you see them?
10 p.m. It was just before I had landed at the clearing.
She must have seen the blackmail negotiations before they'd gone downhill. Sugar Stamp?
Yes, Princess Twilight?
After you saw the children, did you see any pony else before you landed at the clearing?
No, not until Royal Order arrived.
We know already of why she met with him, so questioning it further won't get us anywhere. Witness, continue your testimony.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
But when I heard that, I couldn't think. I killed him, then and there, using a letter opener that I carried with me. Hold it!
How long after you met and talked with Royal Order did you supposedly kill him?
I would say about 5 minutes after. So around 10:15
Damn, quick work,
p.m.
lady. Jeez.
And how did you kill him exactly? Was it just with a single strike?
Just a little poke.
No, first I kicked him in the side to get him off balance.
Okay, that
Kicked
checks
him?
out.
While he was fully armored?
Yes, I had to really put my back into it just to stagger him. It made an awful loud metallic
A
sound.
cloud?
A loud metallic.
Did I just say cloud? Did I meant to say clang. Why did I say cloud? I could just imagine now. You have like a metal stick and you just bang it on a metal pole and it's saying, instead of it saying clang, it's just like cloud. Cloud.
Metallic sound. Like a clang?
Yes!
No,
That's
cloud.
a good
It's
word
like
to
a
describe
cloud.
it. I'd give you candy for that answer, but... Oh,
Yeah, you don't
I don't
have
have any
candy,
on
do
me.
you?
It's alright, Miss Stamp. Could you tell us what happened next?
well, I had to act quickly before he could recover. So, I stabbed him with the letter opener through his right temple. It killed him instantly.
Instantly?
That lines up with the autopsy report's initial findings, but how do you explain the other stab wounds found around the same area on his head?
The other stab wounds?
The autopsy
Oh, even
report
Fair's
states that along with
confused
the
on
lethal
that.
stab wound to the right temple, several post-mortem stab wounds were found in the same location. Miss
Huh.
Stamp, did you stab the victim again after he was already dead?
I mean, who wouldn't? I'm kidding,
Yes.
guys.
I did.
Good grief! But why would you do such?
See, but why would you, like, be like, yeah, I stabbed him once, and then be like, oh, yeah, no, I think I did stab him, like, a few more times after I killed him, you know, just a little bit, just a tiny little bit. See, stuff like that doesn't make me believe you, sugar.
Such a thing?
So call me, baby.
Were you really that angry with him?
I believe I might know why, Your Honor.
Making sure he's dead?
You do, Miss Devotion?
Indeed, though it is a bit grisly. Sugar Stamp,
Yes, Diva?
you
Diva.
testified that you decided to move the body after you'd killed Royal Order, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
But secretly moving a body that was bleeding from a head wound would have been difficult. You'd have a trail leaking from him constantly.
So you kept the knife in
Hence,
there.
why you'd need to stab him again.
That makes
Yes,
sense.
that's right.
Can you run that by me again?
It's true. I did stab him again after he
See,
died.
but then why
I
did you
only
not
realized
remember
he was still
that?
bleeding after I got rid of his armor. I had removed the blade to throw it all into the river, you see, and when I came back to the clearing, a pool of blood had collected on the ground. So, I tried to stick the letter opener into the first wound like a plug. It was my best bet at stopping the bleeding so I could move the body. and it worked.
See, but
And
see,
that's
but
her
like,
way
how
of
did you?
explaining those irregularities in the victim's wound that Luna mentioned.
At any rate, I think we've settled that matter. Let's move on. Witness, describe to the court what you did next.
Oh, well, you see, I went to go to Burger King and grab a burger.
After he
You
was
know.
dead, I removed his armor, then decided to carry the body to the castle ruins by flying it there. Then I flew out of the forest.
So after you stabbed the victim, you decided to toss the armor in the river, then move the body by flying it away. Did you see any pony else while you were flying?
Any pony else? Yes, actually.
Who'd you
I saw
see?
two ponies very clearly. They were actually heading
Ah,
towards
that was
each
Sakura
other,
and
though I'm not
Turner
sure if they
Page.
knew it.
Who were they?
The first was Sakura. She was coming from her hut, I remember. And the other was Turning Page. He'd been coming from the castle.
And that was it? You only saw those two? No pony else?
No.
Kind of unrelated right now, but just imagine being in a murder trial. Like, imagine being Scootaloo or Turning Page, you know, being in a murder trial and everything. Imagine the relief, dude. Imagine the relief of, like realizing that you're safe. Like, the case is still going on, but, like, you're not a part of it anymore. Like, imagine that relief, dude. Like, you're safe. You're done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Whoa. Almost fell off my chair. But you don't have to worry about that anymore. You're just like, I'm free. I'm free. Also, unrelated, quite a while ago, I threw the empty Dutch chocolate mini tub of ice cream across the room. So, actually, I'm not sure. I almost fell off my chair again. I'm not sure where it ended up. So now I'm left with two empty mini tubs of Blue Belle ice cream, homemade vanilla.
No pony else.
That lines up with what we've already established. Scootaloo would have already passed by the clearing at this point, so Sugar wouldn't have seen her.
Right. In turning, since he was coming from the castle, would have left there long before Sugarstamp dropped off Royal Order's body.
And as Turning Page said in the previous trial, he was the shadow that Sakura saw on her way to the castle. Sugarstamp's story confirms that, too. I'm not sensing any contradictions in her words just yet, Athena. So far, her actions make sense. Or at least can be explained.
Yeah. We'd better move on then. Before you reached the castle ruins, did you stop off anywhere?
No, I didn't.
Really?
What do you mean?
Not even at a
didn't?
certain zebra's hut? In order to deliver a certain letter?
Letter?
I believe the defense is referring to this one, witness.
Uh-oh.
Obviously, the contents of the letter cannot be revealed to the court, but the envelope in which it was delivered should suffice. I would like to resubmit it to the court record, Your Honor.
What was in the envelope? Did we end up knowing what was in the envelope?
Oh, that letter! It's slipped my mind just now. I'm sorry, every pony.
Yeah, you should
That
be
means
sorry.
you admit to stopping off at
Should
Sakura's
be.
at some point in order to drop off this letter?
Yes, that's correct.
And when did you make that stop then?
It was after I'd placed the body at the ruins. That's also when I removed
Well, just committed cold murder off to, you know, finish my job. Do.
the letter opener and put it back in my bag. After that, I went to deliver the letter.
I see. Could you add that to the end of your testimony for me, please?
Oh, sure.
Let's move on.
You fool.
Witness, you
fool.
moved the body and delivered the letter.
I have
Did
70
you need to leave the
alternate.
forest afterwards?
Yes, I did, but... While flying over the crossroads, I saw Scootaloo crash into the other Royal Order. After she left, I moved the scooter and wagon to further shift the blame.
Hold it.
But why, though? Why go so far to pin the blame on Scootaloo?
Yeah. That's a fair
To be honest, Sugar
point.
Stamp, even after everything you told us, I still find it hard to believe that you'd go that far. I mean, I thought you loved kids.
She's a
Why would
clone.
you do something like that to any pony, let alone Scootaloo?
It doesn't matter what you think. I did it and I confessed, and that's that.
Then why did you just...
Here's the thing. What if she had a clone? What if Sugar Stamp also got a clone? I mean, I don't think there's anything to, like, deconfirm that she made a clone. We haven't seen a clone or seen any evidence for a clone, but, like, she could be just chilling at Sugar Stamp's home right now, just chilling, you know.
You decide to move the body and scooter
Hiding
to the
somewhere.
castle ruins in the first place?
It was because of what I saw before I met with Royal Order. The children talking.
The blackmail deal?
Knowing that Turning Page and his friend had been at the castle ruins, I knew I could pin the murder on them and make the ruins look like the real murder scene. It's what Royal Order deserved after what he did to me.
But...
Defense.
Yeah.
While I appreciate your habit of needling into every single minor point in each testimony, my patience is beginning to wear thin.
Haha! Haha!